You are here with By the Cover. Today we're going to do a joint review of Desperation and the Regulators by Stephen King. Both of these reviews will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to hear about those, click off now. If you're going to read these, my suggested reading order would be Desperation first and Regulators second. Desperation was 613 pages and took me 4 days to read. I would rate it a 9.2 out of 10. These are the things that I loved about the story. I thought the characters were very interesting and well developed. I enjoyed both Collie and Tack as antagonists. I really enjoyed the plot. There were moments within the book that genuinely creeped me or grossed me out, and I thought Desperation, Nevada was a great setting to have a horror novel. Things that I didn't love: it did lull in a couple spots, so the pacing was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. And there also wasn't a whole lot of emotional impact in this book. Overall, I thought it was a really entertaining read. It kept the pages turning, and I loved it pretty much all the way through the book. Regulators was 377 pages and took me 2 days to read. I would rate that book a 5.5 out of 10. Things that I loved: it was a completely different setting than Desperation, Nevada, set on Mulberry Street, which was very entertaining. It was interesting to see the characters in new roles, and overall I think it was an interesting concept to have the two books at the same time. When chaos erupts, it's nothing like I thought it was going to be. The chapter with Aubrey and Tack was amazing, and the honey scene was very creative and terrifying. And I also really like that Stephen King was able to drift through different viewpoints pretty seamlessly in this book. Things that I didn't like: the flood of characters. There's 27 in all. We aren't really invested in any of them too deeply, and none of them are all that memorable. Audrey's backstory really dragged on and on. It could have been shortened significantly. The story kept repeating the exact same formula, which is the wagon shoot up the street, they take people out, then the group waits, and we repeat that over and over and over. So it was very repetitive. Seth, being an 8-year-old, would not have the capacity for the thought that he has, so it was a bit unbelievable there. The story never really led up with anything meaningful, so you just get desensitized to the violence. The plot was interesting, but it wasn't great, and the pacing, due to the repetitive nature, was also not great. Due to the repetition and being desensitized, this book was pretty boring throughout a lot of it. Overall, it wasn't as enjoyable of a read. I thought it was a decent concept, it just wasn't executed very well. And that's about it. We'll catch you later.